in most areas, our military is well positioned to protect our homeland and our allies abroad. There does seem to be an alarming gap in the Arctic Circle, and I think you would all agree with that. Quite frankly, I think most Americans would be surprised how big the gap is when you consider that, Russia alone has 55, am I correct? 55 cutters, and we have at most 2, correct? That's unbelievable, just that statistic alone. So we got to do everything in our power to ensure the necessary provisions are in place so we can bridge the gap in the Arctic and continue to protect our people and our allies. And I, want to say, and I think we all know that I'm more than willing to work across the aisle. I'm more than willing to work with everybody on this. I think we all are. It is dire. The main competition that we have is Russia and China. This is serious stuff. Russia, like I said, has 55, and they're going to expand their fleet. China is expanding their fleet. I mean, this is a big deal. It really is. So before I even go on, I want to get something clear in my mind. And Vice Admiral Allen, thank you for being here. I really do appreciate you. I know I ask hard questions. It's not a personal thing. It's really concern. And I respect the work that you all do. I want you to know that. But based on your response to my colleague from Mississippi, does that not mean the Coast Guard has sufficient appropriated money to complete Polar Security Ice Catter 1? Do you believe that we have enough money to complete it? I think I know the answer.
Sir, we do not have enough to complete the number 1. The question is, how much more do we need? And we think by December, we will understand final contract negotiations, what that dollar amount is and what gap exists.
We, again, on a bipartisan way, want to try to fight for that. I mean, it's everything. I mean, I think this is kind of bipartisan, at least with most folks, peace through strength. I mean, we need the strength, and it's scary to me. I don't know that we have the strength there, regardless of all the other things that you're doing. And Vice Admiral Gaudier, I did listen to what you said, and I appreciate those things, but we don't have the money, and we've got to start the way this place works is making the requests, putting in for it, advocating for it, fighting for it so that you get what you need. Everybody's at the trough. Everybody's competing. But this is stuff that crosses all boundaries and is really serious and real important. I'm curious. I wrote some of the questions down I wanted to ask. How did we get here? How did Congressman Garamendi said that this has been going on for a decade. That's longer than I've been here. This is my 3rd term, and I can remember this discussion even now, which is on my 6th year. How did we get here? How did this multiple administrations through time, what went wrong? Something went wrong. We shouldn't have fallen this far behind. Please give me a candid and blunt answer.
Yes, sir. So what I would say is the Coast Guard is a capital-intensive organization in the non-defense side of budget authorities. When you look at that, our percentage of increase every year is much lower than what DOD is, so we fall further and further behind each year. Creates our requirements to almost as a flat line since 2010 to make trade-offs. And a lot of those trade-offs are keeping assets going as opposed to reacquiring what we need. As the Commandant said, we need to be a $20 billion organization with 5% growth. That needs to happen by 2033. Or to your point, sir, we are not going to be able to deliver the Coast Guard that the nation is asking us to have.
As we spoke yesterday about a different subject, and I appreciated your input and candor with that. I mean, with the cost of everything going up, it is of major, major concern with the inflation we have, which is still there. Costs are going up, as you know, exponentially in some cases. I think we need, I'd love to see us turn a page. You tell us what you need. Now, we can't guarantee just on this one subcommittee that we can deliver that, but again, across the aisle, and again, I associate myself with the remarks, Congressman Garamendi, the gentleman from California, made. I want it to sort of stop. I want to turn a new page. I want you to be working with us, that we're advocating hard. If we fail, so be it, but we should know what hill we're fighting on, what we're fighting for, how much we need, what we want to do. We've really got to get focused here. I don't want it to go on for another 10 or 20 or 30 years. I don't want it to go on to where we have a confrontation and literally the greatest country on the face of the earth can't deal with it. This is serious, serious stuff. Ms. McLeod, can you highlight the strategic advantages that Russia and China have over the United States when it comes to these assets? I know you know your stuff. I know you've done it already, but we just want to hear it again.
Quantity of icebreakers, in short, assets in the Arctic.
You know how heartbreaking that is for me to hear America, the greatest country on the face of the earth, and let's call it what it is behind. We're behind. We're behind Russia. We're going to be behind China. Maybe we are already. I don't know. And I don't want that to get worse. I don't think any member here wants it to get worse. It's important stuff. I guess I've used up my time. I appreciate your service. I really do. And I'm not blaming you, but I'm blaming the process. We absolutely have to do better on this. I don't want to look back someday. You know, you worry about your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren. Man, we lead. We're America. We don't want to fall behind. With that, I yield back to the chairman.